Consensus Network.
Sato boat. We are here. You are actually on the boat, I can see.
Exactly. I'm living on the boat.
Have you, I only know your story through Twitter. I've not seen any other YouTube interviews or podcasts or anything like that. Have you announced yourself to the Pleb world before?
Sorry, repeat?
Have you been on any other podcasts and stuff?
Simply Bitcoin. I made like maybe 3-4 interviews, like with Geyser too.
Oh yes, right, okay.
Yeah, and some French podcasts too. So yeah.
So where do we find you at the moment?
Right now I'm in Cherbourg.
Okay, so
you know where it is.
I've never traveled there. I've never visited. But why don't you tell us? Yeah,
it's for UK people. It's like in the south of Isle of Wight. You know, these Isle of Wight in UK, and just 70 nautical miles from there in the south. Because I'm here in standby to do the Rolex Fast Net race in 3 days. So I'm a little bit exciting. It's a huge race. It's the biggest ocean race this year in terms of number of boats on the sea. Like almost 500 boats will be on the starting line. So yeah, the idea is like it's like a personal adventure, but also I wanna show my big Bitcoin logo on the general. It's a forum sale in front of all the cameras. That's the goal. Yeah,
I love it. So where do you race from, and where do you race to in this particular event?
We start at Cowes in the Solent, in Isle of Wight, and the arrival is in Cherbourg. But before that, we sail to the Scilly Islands, and then to the Fast Net Rock. It's just in the south of Ireland, so in Celtic Sea. Yeah, it's far from here.
So how long does the race last?
For me or for the first one? Yeah, because there is some of the biggest boats from the planet on the starting line, like the multi-hull, huge multi-hull. They will sail this race in maybe 1 day and a half. But for us, it will be a little bit longer. Around 6 or 7 days.
Right. Okay. So it's a mix, like anybody can enter, and it's a complete mix of craft and.
Exactly. There's different categories, but yeah.
Have you done it before?
No.
Have you done anything this long before, or is this?
Not this long.
Mate, I love it. I absolutely love it. Well, yeah. Congratulations for getting there, and well done. And I really, fingers crossed, I hope it goes well. Keep us updated if you can with pictures on Twitter. It might be hard to get a signal out there in the middle of the ocean, but
yeah.
But all right, well, let's learn a little bit more about you then, because clearly you've fallen down the Bitcoin rabbit hole pretty hard at some stage in your life.
Maybe.
So where did you grow up, and what were you doing before you found Bitcoin?
I grew up in Brussels. I was an architect engineer working in energy optimization for buildings, and I was fed up of working in an office. It was an interesting job, but I wanna discover the world also, and trying to do something bigger, maybe. So yeah, and I discovered Bitcoin 3 years ago. And what's the starting point of this project is I wanted to discuss about Bitcoin with people who who knows better than me. And I got a friend from university who made a French podcast, Parlons Bitcoin, speaking about Bitcoin.
Emmanuel.
And so he said me, yeah, I'm in Canada, so it will be a little bit complicated to meet you. But if you want, we can record a podcast. And everything started there. It was a 2 hour podcast. We discussed about everything, the world, the money, Bitcoin, blah, 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 you know the story. And then at the end, the idea of leave everything and to sail with a boat and to meet people around for this part Europe, or after that a little bit further, meet people to discuss about Bitcoin and sailing, because they have in common they have the same characteristic about autonomous independency, and that's why I'm trying.
Yeah, of course. You have that sense of freedom, right, out on the ocean, and self-sovereignty.
Yeah, and sovereignty and responsibility, because it's all the time. You can choose only one. If you want to be free, you have to be responsible. It's like we can make lots of comparisons. It's like with your key. You are responsible of your key, but that's the key of your freedom.
Mm-hmm.
And if you sail, it's the same problem. You are alone on the sea, and if you've got trouble, you have to manage it by yourself all the time. So that's why that's what I like to compare.
So what resources were you using when you're falling down the rabbit hole? So 3 years ago, 2020, clearly lockdown, COVID had some kind of impact on your ability to tune out of your everyday hamster wheel life and commit some time to learning about Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's like everybody had time to learn Bitcoin during this period, and what's drive me most is like life is really short. Maybe everything could stop tomorrow. You don't know. So I was like, I want to live completely, fully. How can I say that in English? It's like I want to be total in everything I do. So, and it's the case with when you sail, because it's like you are really engaged in what you do all the time. It's like in a way it's very rational, and on the other way it's very emotional. You have to feel things, and I like this balance between these two poles. So yeah, and the project still evolves, because I learn, I meet people, I read great books. It's like a small publicity.
Who's that one by? Une solution contre...
It's a book called, an article from Alexander Stachenko, Bitcoin solution counterintuitive. Can you say that in English?
Counterintuitive, yeah.
Counterintuitive against climate changement.
Aha, okay. I've not read that one yet.
Yeah, but I think it's not written in English for the moment.
Okay.
Good. So you learn, you share ideas with people. It's challenge your point of view all the time. And me also, I'm moving. I moved from my city. I lived there for 35 years. So it's like a huge step, because you discover other way of thinking.
So let's go through that process, because
that's what I like in this project.
So many people are stuck in this moment where they know they don't want to be sat at their desk anymore. They listen to all of the podcasts. They've done 1,000 hours. They've read all the books. They've read all the articles. They've been to a few conferences. They've been discussing this with their wife and maybe their family, and they're thinking about how Like, what do I do next? I know what I want to do. I don't want to be here. I want to be free. I want to be living on Bitcoin. I want to be working in Bitcoin. You clearly got to that decision. What processes did you put into place? Was it just like, right, screw this, I quit one day, I sell my apartment, I sell all of my right? Okay, go for it. Let's hear the story.
Yeah, it was just like that. After the podcast, it was in January 22. 1 month later, I recalled my friend from the podcast, and I said him like, I quit my job and I found a boat. Literally, yeah.
So Emmanuel has a lot to answer for here, huh? Like,
well, I didn't have a family or wife or kids. Don't have a home, so it was quite easy to move out all my small assets. So it was very easy in that term.
Did you always sail before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it was not the first time, of course, because you need some experience to do that. Yeah.
So you sell everything. Hang on a second. Well, how did it go quitting? How was that? Was that just you send an email and it's done, or you had to go face to face and speak to your boss and explain?
Oh, my ex-boss saw on my face that I was fed up of the job. It took me too much energy, and so he knew it before I said it. So yeah, you have a delay to say that to your boss. Like you have 3 weeks or 1 month. I don't remember how much it was, but it was very fast decision. Yeah, like okay.
And
let's do
your friends and your family around you, and perhaps your colleagues, did they think you were just going crazy, having a midlife crisis, try and talk you out of it?
No, not especially. I had a long discussion with my parents when I decided to announce my new project. My mother was a little bit scary, but after maybe 1 hour of discussion, she said me like, no, I asked her like, do you think it's stupid or no? It wasn't like that. It's more like, are you afraid or do you think it's not like what I like to do? And she said me, no, you are all the time like that, so that's normal. Like, go ahead. And no, she support me. My family support me quite a lot. My father helped me during the renovation of the boat. So, and that's strange because I'm far away from my family, but I discuss more with them through WhatsApp or whatever than before. That's funny. That's really funny. The link that I have now with my parents, it's more intense, more honest than before. So, well, and my friends are happy for me because they found that it's correspondent to me. Like it's truly me to do that. So they are quite happy for me.
Okay, so now you had to find the boat. How did you go about doing that? So you had the cash. Hopefully, you had the cash, so you knew you needed to buy a boat. And I mean, that's a journey in itself, right? Because you got to decide what kind of style of boat.
Very fast, also. A very good friend, a seller, give me the announce of this boat. So I read it. I decided to visit the boat, and after that, 1 week after, it's the only boat I visited.
Really?
Yeah,
mate, that's amazing. So describe the boat then. What is it that you're sailing around on and living? You live full time on the boat as well, yeah?
Yeah, that's my house.
Right.
Yeah, but it's like Jeannot. It's a French builder, and the model is a Sunrise 34 feet. So it's just big enough for one person. I have all the facilities. I like a fridge, oven, a bathroom, everything. I can onboard like I'm doing like how do you say that in English? I'm putting announce on a crew exchange website to onboard people who want to discover sailing. And during this week sailing trip, we are often like 2, 3 to 4 people on board. It's possible. So you have a front room and a back room, and then in the saloon you have like you can remove the coffin. That's right, coffin.
Cushions. Yep.
Cushions.
Right.
Cushions. You have two beds, so it's a 4+2. We say that in 4+2 because you have 2 rooms for 2 people, and then plus 2 beds in the main room, the principal room. Where am I right now?
Where have you sailed so far then? Or do you generally just base yourself where you are and then go on these adventures?
The first chapter was a proof of concept of the project. So I started from Brussels through the canal and Lescaut. It's the big river that is connected to the North Sea. And then I traveled to Biarritz for surfing Bitcoin.
You were there?
Yeah, last year.
Oh, we missed each other. I was there with the family.
Oh shit! But because I didn't know you at this moment.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah. So you docked in Biarritz and come across to the conference, yeah?
Yeah. It was to show the project to the community, and then the second chapter was to travel around western of Europe. So I traveled till Ibiza, Valencia, and I came back to Brussels at the end of the second chapter. It was like a 1-year trip. And now I'm in the third chapter. Yeah, I have to classify, I'm in the third chapter, and the third chapter is composed by different projects. The first one is the Rolex Fast Net race. The second one is to sail to Biarritz again at the end of the month of August. It's for the 1-year anniversary with the community. And then I want to be in Cape Verde in December to cross the Atlantic in January. So the third chapter is to sail around the Atlantic Ocean. And I've got a contact in Brazil, Pra Bitcoin Beach, I think. They tweet me. And I want to meet them, and then sailing in the Caribbean Sea, going to America. Also, I want to do the Canada because Emmanuel, my friend from the podcast, lived there. So it could be a nice trip to see him there. And also David Saintonge. You know David Saintonge?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Because I met him in Biarritz. So yeah, that's the idea of the third chapter.
All right. Well, this year at Surf and Bitcoin, we're going to be there again. We want to come on board.
Of course.
We want to come and check out the boat and see you. So we'll meet at the conference, and we'll figure out. So how far away do you dock from the conference? Where's the harbor?
It's not in Biarritz. It's I think by bus it's like maybe 20 minutes.
Okay.
No, it's not far. If you have a car, it's very easy. Yeah. There is a bus line from the center, just in front of the casino, to the port. It's very easy.
We'll figure it out. We're driving there anyway because we live about 4 hours away. So we'll have a car. We'll have a way to get there and come and and see the boat.
We can make a podcast on board. We can make a tour or whatever.
And are you looking now, like you said, you're looking for crew hands? Is that to join you on the adventure, or that's just to help people learn how to sail? Or is it a way for you to orange pill normies, or all of the above?
Exactly. Because when you are alone, all the costs are quite expensive.
Mhm.
When you are in the port or the diesel for the engine, blah, blah, blah. But also, I don't like to be alone too often,
Mhm.
of course. And so I onboard people, and we sharing costs. And also the best thing I like in that project is when you sail, it's a long time because you move literally at the speed of someone who run. It's like 6 knots if you are lucky. So you've got the time to speak. If you want to talk about Bitcoin in the street or in a bar, you have like 5 or 10 minutes, and it's way too short because you have too much steps to cross. So when I onboard people for 1 week trip, maybe we can talk during 10 hours, and there is
Per day.
lots of book inside it. I received the time sharing codex in the book, so the CFI. It's a CFI book.
Oh, Time Chain Codex. Who wrote this one?
Good question. Good question. It's available on a PDF on internet, but the PVH edition gave me that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more CFI. That's cool because it's not like hard stuff, hard lessons.
And I see you've got Knut's book there, Everything Divided by 21 Million. Yeah.
Yeah, I received it because I met Knut in Spain.
Right.
So he signed me the book because
amazing.
he's also a sailor.
Yes, he is. So did you sail into like Alicante and he come and met you there?
Somewhere there, yeah, somewhere there.
Right. That's awesome.
So I kept this book and they are all the time available here. So when you are in mooring and you want to chill, up one book. I mean, you can see it. It will be a discover for you when we will meet in Biarritz. I'm trying to not painting, but express things on the boat related to Bitcoin, like the Genesis block, because people will, what it is? Oh, you don't know the Genesis block, blah blah blah, blah, and you can start.
Yeah.
So you don't push to the ask by themselves. Well, there is Bitcoin everywhere, so they don't have the choice. But
oh man, that's awesome.
That's what I created. Yeah.
So sailing across the Atlantic, are you going to try and do that alone, or are you looking for people to go with you? Because that's pretty scary.
No. I think I'm going to do that with a friend.
Right.
We will be maybe 3, not more, because after that we have problem with the managing of the water, because you need a certain quantity, because the trip will be maybe a little bit more than 20 days. So you have to manage the water. Yeah. No, 3 weeks. Yeah, more 3 weeks. Yeah.
And that's to reach where? That's to reach the coast of Canada or the US, or
no? First of all, why you cross in the south? Like you can cross from Canary Islands or from Cape Verde, because the shortest way to reach the other coast are in Cape Verde. It's shorter than in Canary Islands.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where would you reach first? You'd on the other side.
I decide maybe Brazil, because Bitcoin beach. I don't remember. I think it will be so funny to meet these people, but I heard it's a little bit complicated to sail in the north of Brazil because there are lots of currents. So people decided more to cross directly to Caribbean islands. So I'm not still sure. I have to to read a little bit about this area, this navigation area. So I'm not sure, but it's in 6 months. I still have the time.
Yeah, you've got plenty of time. So you mentioned like sharing costs. How much does it cost to pull in to one of the ports? You obviously have to pay port fees. What's that process like for people that have never done it? You pull in, you find your slot, you pay your port fees. The douane or the customs officials come and visit you, check all of your paperwork and passport. I assume
It depends. It depends on the country. But generally, you arrive in a port. You go to the captainry, the office.
Yeah.
And you normally you call through the VHF, the radio. When you arrive, you announce you. You ask for the permission normally to enter in the port. It depends, and you receive a berth. It costs between. It depends of the if you are in winter or in summer, and of it depends of the region, the area. It's between 15 euros till 50 euros per night. Yeah, I was in winter. I was in the south of Spain. It was not quite expensive, but I know in summer it's you have to book in advance, otherwise you will have no place. You know.
Yeah.
So, and for the paper, it depends. In France, in Belgium, you arrive, they ask for nothing. They ask you the length of the boat because the price is calculated by the surface of the boat. But in Spain and Portugal, I had to give all the insurance, the boat paper, the passport of all the people. So I was like, well, in Bitcoin, you don't like to share too much data of your about yourself. And I was like, each 3 days I had to give my passport. I was like, come on. It depends of the area. It depends.
Right. Okay. Right. Lauren's just walked in to ask you a question. 1 second. Here she is. Right. Just lean into the mic there.
Okay. Hi. Sorry.
Hi.
Okay. So my question is, what is your favorite thing about Bitcoin?
My favorite feeling?
No, thing about Bitcoin.
It's a big question.
See, I told you people like that question.
I discussed with a friend yesterday why I like Bitcoin. I think it's because it's over us. It's like it's much more than us. It's much more than a technology. I think you can believe in some kind of religions or whatever, but for me, I think it's because Bitcoin is much more than just a technology. It's like I think it gives you like meanings maybe for lives. It's like I'm gonna make a comparison with sailing. It's like a little bit a lighthouse in the sea. You have like a red line, and I think it is that.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's sailing around. He's going to enter into. I told you a little bit about this beforehand, but what we didn't realize is he was in Biarritz last year. He sailed to Biarritz. We didn't get to meet him, but this year he's going back to surfing Bitcoin, and we're going to go meet him and we're going to go check out the boat.
Oh, cool!
Yes.
And perhaps
you will be my guest.
Perhaps he can teach you how to sail.
I don't know how I know about that.
Well, we won't have enough time to do that, but
you have to start somewhere.
Exactly. You can. We can get on the boat. He can show you around how he lives because he lives on the boat full time. That's his house.
Yeah.
Sound pretty cool?
It sounds difficult.
Well, is it difficult?
What does it mean, difficult?
There you go. Difficult is just a set of problems that you have to keep solving, right? Which, as human beings, is what we are built to do.
Yeah, that's right.
Any other questions?
No.
No?
No.
All right. Well, do you want to say goodbye then?
Yep. Thank you. Bye.
See you.
Have fun.
Okay. So I wanted to ask you as well about your old job. Energy optimization for buildings, I think, is what you said.
Yeah, exactly.
There's got to be an overlap here with Bitcoin mining, right? And waste heat. You must have gone down that rabbit hole and that thought process of how do I Trojan horse all of these buildings into mining Bitcoin for heat to use the waste energy of heat to heat the buildings to make this a viable option. Is there a way that can be done? Have you crunched the numbers? Did you ever try and get that across the line to your old boss?
Yeah. We thought about because well, it really depends of the regions or the area. You know, when you are in Canada or whatever, you have not the same demands for heating than in France or Belgium. But what I believe is that it's very, very interesting for the how do you say that? Heat water. Yeah, because you know you need to heat the building, and you need to heat the water for showers, blah blah. And it's not the same because you need hot water all the time, all the time of the year, and heating it's like only in winter or in spring.
Right.
And okay, and so yeah, I think Bitcoin the how do you say that the decentralization of the mining will win, let's say that the battle, when we will have mining everywhere in houses or other type of services like swimming pool. They need heating very often. There is a French company called, I forget it. They create a heater. Sorry?
Hestia? They used to be called Wise Mining, but they've rebranded. So they've rebranded to Hestia.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's a very, very interesting project. I don't know where they are.
They're close. They're close. I just chatted with them in Miami, and even again since with Antoine and Alexandre.
Why?
And they've basically got now a plug-in electric heater, which is silent, which it has a mining machine built in, and which will be able to open and close Lightning nodes as well. And you're like, oh my God. And the best thing is, in France, we as plebs will be able to buy them very, very cheaply because the government are going to subsidize it. So it's the best. It's the best ever Trojan horse because the government are going to be subsidizing these electric heaters. People are going to buy them, not even knowing that they're mining Bitcoin and decentralizing the network. So yeah, I'm here for it. And hopefully those guys, they're going to be around at Surf and Bitcoin, and we'll be able to get a clearer picture of where they are. They've been currently looking for investment, and they've been talking to investors.
Okay.
And fingers crossed that that's going to come to pass.
Cool.
Because like you, this is my idea of how we explode the network.
Exactly.
And getting them, So I'm sure you've got lots of ideas that you can share with those guys. So that's definitely a meeting you need to have when we're all there in Biarritz and bounce ideas off of each other. With your technical background, how many years were you doing that job?
Oh, 6 years, 7 years.
Right.
Something like that.
And before that, what were you doing?
Oh, but I was also in energy optimization for building, but there is like two parts. You have like the envelope of a building. You want to keep the heat inside, but you have also all the techniques of the building, heating and ventilation systems. And the last 6 years were more on the techniques of the building, and before that it was more about the envelope of the building.
Okay. Yeah. Insulation kind of.
Yeah. It's okay to summary that it's insulation, but it's much more than that. But yeah, it's a good abstract.
Yeah. I'm sure it's a very interesting rabbit hole to go down once you start looking at it, especially if you look at like a 20-story building. That's a whole different story.
Exactly. Well, it depends if it was a house, of an office, of blah blah blah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I'm still interested about this subject, but maybe later I will come back in this domain. I don't know. I will see.
Any way you can run a miner on your boat via a little solar panel?
Good question. at the beginning, we dreamed in the past.
Dreamt. Yeah.
Right. We dreamt about running a miner, but it was a little bit complicated because you need some power. It could be like maybe 500, 1,000 or more watts. And you need to cool it down. So the idea was to have a water cooling system, because we have water around the boat all the time, and the temperature it's not often more than 25. If you are in the Caribbean Sea, you have 25, but here we have 10. So it's perfect to have a water cooling system. But the problem was the power. So we decided. I've got multiple people in my head. That's why I say hey, we. And there is the boat, and I think it's a living person, so that's why I say all the time we. So we decided to install just a full BTC node with a Raspberry, because it's quite easy. You just have to manage the voltage, because on the boat it's a 12 voltage tension and not 220 like in Europe. And to update the node, I'm using a 3G device. It's like as I connect a phone to create a Wi-Fi in the boat. So it's working quite well. Still, I'm not too far from the coast, because a 3G network, it's working not more than 5 kilometers from the coast. But the meantime, I'm along the coast, so it's not a problem. And if sometimes I've got a disconnection, like during the Fast Net, okay, I will lose maybe, let's say for the Fast Net 7 days. But it's not a problem, because a node is running by himself and he can update at any time. So you know that better than me. So that's how it's working for the moment. I'm not using the Lightning node because I have got too many disconnection. So it's not a use case for me. The idea of having a node is not only about the sovereignty. It's also to say to people, if it's possible on a boat, it's possible everywhere. And it's the most mobile full BTC node. That's the funny part. And for the moment, I'm trying to have a deal with a Belgian company who create a device to have internet, low data, not high data like Starlink, to have a device on the boat. Because what? I want to have data during my crossing to to update my weather forecast.
Mm.
It's like more about security, and you need to. You understand?
Yep.
I'm living with the weather forecast all day. I'm looking at the data, and also to have a connection to. That's my next dream, to run a full BTC node in the middle of the ocean. But that's the idea. But it's not quite easy because with that kind, I want to use Iridium. It's a satellite constellation, and you need 2 MB each 10 minutes to update the node. So it's not low, it's not high data. High. How do you say that? Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. You understand the high or
Yep.
low data?
Yep.
I can use Starlink, but it's quite expensive. I think it's like 500 per month or something like that. And I think paying for that or asking money to the Bitcoiners to do that, it's not clever, because I don't need to download high definition movie. So, and it's too much money for that for me, for the moment, personally, and the idea of paying $500 just to run this node, it's maybe for me a little bit too much. But so that's the next idea, the next project. Oh, it will be so cool.
Yes, it would be. And I'm hoping any plebs that are listening that might be able to help, they can be able to reach out to you.
Yeah, maybe.
And,
yeah.
And the only other thing I've heard about from people doing this on land, right, overlanding in their mobile homes, or they're overlanding in their trucks and their rigs, like Nathan Days from BTC Map, he's got the most amazing rig. But sometimes you can find at a campsite that they're staying. Where did I see this? I'm sure someone tweeted about this. They look for the campsites where you get free electricity in with the fees of the campsite, and then they just plug in their Bitcoin miner into the.
What's campsite?
A campsite is somewhere where you can go and park your mobile home.
Okay.
Big facility, and they if you get a berth with access to an electrical point, some of them cover the cost of electricity in like the 50 euros a day or whatever. And so, if you're going in the winter, that's you get a cheap price to park up, and you can just run your Bitcoin miner for the heat.
It was my idea at the beginning, because when you pay for your berth, the electricity is quite often not free but included in the price. So they don't count how much you download. So I was like, okay, it's possible to run maybe a 2 or 3 watts miner for free. Let's do that.
Yeah.
But a guy, side experience. I don't know if you know this Twitter account. It's like I think he's an electrical engineer, and create like small miner, and he will give me a nerd miner. Nerd miner.
Yeah, the tiny thing.
So,
yeah.
So that's the next step, to have also a nerd miner on board. So I will have a full node and a nerd miner. That's perfect. I just have to win the lottery, and it will be perfect.
Win the lottery with a nerd miner. Yeah,
it's the same, no?
Yep.
But it's a better lottery. It's not like the lottery from the States,
No, exactly. Yeah, the Bitcoin
That's perfect.
lottery.
That's pure.
Absolutely. All right, man. Well, I'll ask you the final question, and we'll see where this one takes us. But if you had just one last orange pill left to give to somebody, who would you give it to, and why?
Oof. Wow, what a question. It's complicated, because when you want to try to orange people, you have to attack with a certain angle, because people have different consideration. I've got a friend who is a farmer, and they are like maybe anti-technology.
Mhm.
So, but she understands very well the problematic with the money and the bank system. So when I want to discuss about Bitcoin with her, I'm using this this sphere of Bitcoin. With my ex-colleague, I'm discussing about energy through Bitcoin. So with my mother, she's the same. She don't like the bank system because she was independent before, and she's like, okay, it's my money. So you attack with. It's just a question about an angle, but it doesn't answer your question about who. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe a famous person to have lots of impact, maybe. But yeah, maybe the Pope. It would be funny. I don't know. Yeah, why I'm saying that? Because yesterday I thought about uh, is it the church invest in Bitcoin? Because it's like a very powerful not company but group.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay, are they in Bitcoin too? I don't know.
Yep. People have said the Pope in the past as well. And yeah, his reach would be huge, right? If all of a sudden he was, a Bitcoin maxi with the laser eyes, then that would help a lot of people understand, the importance of this and what it could mean for their lives and their futures and their families' futures. And that's what we're all here for, right? That's the point
Exactly.
of these podcasts and these conversations, to keep the education going. Point of what you're doing, your trip. Sure, you've changed your life, but you're using that change to educate as many people as you can in your own unique way. Flying the great big Bitcoin sign. And hopefully, we'll see that on the television. Will that all just be on YouTube? Is there a YouTube channel we can follow for the Rolex Fast Net?
Yeah. If you go on the website, I think there's many links.
Cool.
And it will be on TV because in sport emissions. I think it's covered all around the world. So if you are in Australia, they will look at that. Okay, the sailing people will watch that. Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
All right.
I'm gonna try to cross the line a little bit too far to have when you have the start, but you cross the line before the start.
You're gonna do a false start. That's a great idea. That's a great idea.
Sorry. Did you see the logo? Oh, that's Bitcoin.
I can hear the commentary in my voice, and it looks as though we've got somebody across the line, some Bitcoin boat. He's gone too soon. He's going to have to bring him back. You got the klaxon going. All the cameras. Yeah, that's a great.
I don't have a boat for racing.
No,
it's not a race boat. So it's the idea is to show the boat. Yeah, show this boat and have lots of attention. That's the purpose of this mission.
Mate, I love it. That's a great idea. When does it start? In 3 days, I think you said.
Yeah, it will start Saturday
22nd of July.
Yeah, the first warning signal is at 9, but it's for the biggest boat. And after that, maybe 10 or 20 minutes after, it's a reversed start. It's like the smallest boat starts before the biggest boat. But the biggest there is multi-hull and IMOCA. IMOCA is a sailing boat which do the Vendée Globe. Vendée Globe, the race around the world. It's like the Formula One of sailing boat. They start before everybody because they are too big for the maneuver and blah blah blah. And after that, there is all the other boats, and it's a reverse start. So I'm gonna start the first one because I think I've got the smallest boat of the fleet.
Oh, mate, what an adventure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, well, you're clearly up for it and the passion shows through. So, yeah, well done. Thanks for everything you're doing, man. And how can people reach you if they want to reach out and come on board and spend a week with you, talking Bitcoin and learning how to sail?
Yeah, well, first of all, they can follow me on the social networks like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I've got also a website, satoboat.eo, and they can text me, yeah, and ask me to do a 1 week sailing trip or more. I've got some places for October, November, and December if they want to discover the south of Portugal, Madeira. I want to go to Madeira Island.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
of course.
Because it's lovely, and it's also, it seems to be a Bitcoiner island or in progressing. And then Canary Island, and then Cape Verde. So they are welcome. And yeah.
You'd be very welcome in Madeira. I'll hook you up with Andre and the guys over there at the Free Madeira project, and they'll be more than happy to welcome you there. The president might even come down and personally welcome you.
Oh, cool!
Yeah. So make sure you let me know when you set sail for Madeira.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, perfect.
All right.
Daniel. Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming on, brother. I really appreciate what you're doing, and yeah, great to meet you.
Same, and see you in 1 month in Biarritz.
See you at
Cool.
Bitcoin.
Cool.
All right, mate.
Ciao, Daniel.
See
Thank
you.
you very much.